Hey YouTube, Motor Racing Network, Steve Post here. Another collection of brand new diecast in. All of these available at your local diecast dealers or at us here at planbsales.com. And let's take a look at what we have. We'll start off with another race-winning car. Remember last fall, Texas Motor Speedway, Jimmie Johnson? Well, here it is, the Lowe's race-winning car. And you know, one of the things that's interesting, I love this with all the confetti and everything else. But here's one thing I love that they're doing with these race-winning cars. The rear tires, and sometimes they have them a little bit shredded, sometimes they actually have them so there's a little bit of rubber flopping on them, and they've really done a nice job with just making these authentic, the way the tires are on the cars, and just look really good the way they do with these race-winning diecast cars. A lot of detail on them that Lionel puts into those cars. Austin Dillon up next. This is the Bad Boy Buggies Realtree car. Of course, NASCAR Sprint Cup Series, Sunoco Rookie of the Year competitor, and just really good looking race car. The white with the camel colored for Austin Dillon. Have a couple brand new 1/24 scale color chrome cars. This is Ragan Smith, and this one is autographed. Again, the certificate of authenticity from our friends at Lionel, but Ragan Smith autographed. And then we have Kevin Harvick's Morton Buildings number 5 car from Junior Motorsports, the Chevy Camaros. It's a good looking car in the color chrome paint scheme. All you Harvick fans want to make sure you get this one and add it to your collection. So that's what we have in 1/24 scale cars. How about 1/64 scale cars? Danica Patrick, they're calling this one the Peaker. Well, look at the dash of the car. Maybe that's your first hint as to why they're calling it that. But the GoDaddy car for Danica Patrick, the Peaker car, have that available. And Tony Stewart's Bass Pro Shops testing car available as well in 1/64 scale. So not a huge amount of cars, but some really cool cars we have available here, brand new in from Lionel. And again, we like to mention that all of these are available at your local diecast dealer. So if you have a local diecast dealer, make sure you're dealing with him and take care of him. They're the heart and soul of this business. If you don't have a local diecast dealer, or he can't for whatever reason get his hands on one of these diecast cars, then make sure you give us a shout at planbsales.com. Now stay with us. The post show, it's coming right up. All right, everyone, it's time for the post show. This is our favorite part of the show. You know, we communicate and chat a lot of ways. We have the Twitter account and we have the Facebook account, both of those Plan B Sales, so you can certainly follow along there with us, but then we do the post show, and that's right here on YouTube. And how that works is those questions right down below. Just type them in, and who knows, we'll answer some of those on the next post show. We can talk about NASCAR racing, or we can talk about diecast as well. So great opportunity to chat and talk a little racing with each other here on our YouTube page. Riley writes in and says, who do you think will win the truck championship? I like Johnny Sauter to win the truck championship, and really there's a lot of good young talent out there with guys like Bubba Wallace and Ryan Blaney doing a good job, and there's some veterans like Johnny Sauter and like his teammate Matt Crafton, but I just like where Johnny Sauter is at right now. Coming off the race at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, he kept it on the racetrack there. We go oval track racing now for the rest of the year. Sauter, one of the best in the business, and I also like that they've just added Jeff Hensley as his crew chief. Hensley, one of the best in the garage area. So, you know, it's like anything. Picking race winners are tough to do. Picking championships are tough to do. If everything goes as that team wants it to do, they're going to be awful tough because Johnny Sauter can certainly get the job done. Derek writes in and says, seeing how all 3 Hendrick drivers have 3 wins except for Kasey Kahne, do you think he will make the chase? Well, Derek, you wrote that before the Atlanta race, and that's cool. That's the beauty of NASCAR. If you don't like what you're seeing, stay tuned. It'll change, and change it did for Kasey Kahne. So, yes, Kasey Kahne able to race into the chase, and I think this gets real interesting now with all 4 of the Hendrick teams in the chase. They'll be a little bit separated as far as the seeding goes, with Kasey not having as many wins as the other drivers, but I wouldn't be surprised if Kasey doesn't make some noise when we get in this chase. They're that good. The problem of it is he's going to make some noise. Dale Jr.'s going to make some noise. Jimmie Johnson's going to make some noise. Jeff Gordon. There's a whole lot of noise going to be made. And, well, there's 12 other guys that are all looking for the same thing. That's the beauty of what we have with this year's chase for the Sprint Cup. NRCJF88 writes on, what are you most looking forward to in the 2015 season? Boy, I hadn't really got there. The schedules just came out, and I thought it was interesting because we have a lot of our favorites. The Eldora truck race is probably my favorite race of the year when we look at them all. But, you know, who can argue? Can't wait to get to Daytona for Speed Weeks when we think about 2015. You know, I love some of the road courses we're going to anymore with the Nationwide Series, Road America. I love Mid-Ohio, and I love going to Toronto to Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. So a lot of great races in the Camping World Truck Series and the Nationwide Series, Sprint Cup Series. You know, going to be interesting to see what happens with Atlanta, and really cannot wait for the Southern 500 down at Darlington on Labor Day weekend. I think maybe the one, to get to your question, what I'm most looking forward to is maybe the Darlington one, because here's why. Okay, we left Darlington in May of this year, and we have to wait a full calendar year and then about another 3 or 4 months. That's a long time to go without our Darlington fix. But we'll get that Labor Day weekend with the Southern 500 on Sunday night of Labor Day. So I would say if I had to choose one, it might be that Southern 500. And finally, B Trox 19 writes in, kind of like you guys did in May, will you be doing a warehouse sale in October? Because I will be going to the race. We are working on some really, really, really neat things. We don't have it all buttoned up, but we are working on some really cool things for May. We've got some drivers we've been working with, some announcements there, and yes, we will have something going on in October coming up when everyone comes to Charlotte for that big race in the Chase, but we're not exactly buttoned up on all the details, so just stay tuned, and we will definitely share all the details with you on what we have planned in the month of October, race week here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. So there you have it. That's the edition of the post show. Great diecast, great conversation. We love talking racing. Get those questions in and get those diecast cars ordered as well. Again, local diecast dealer or planbsales.com. We love that you guys are getting involved with us here on YouTube. We have the comments below. Feel free to mention your comments here. Follow us on Twitter at Plan B Sales, and we'll keep you informed on what we have. And please get some back and forth conversation going, because we love talking racing and love talking with you race fans out there, and we appreciate the business you do give us.